CEOs, your competition could be your golden ticket to luxury. Right, let's talk about something that's going to sound completely mad at first. You're sitting there, probably drowning in competitors, and watching your margins shrink faster than your patience during yet another quarterly board meeting. Meanwhile, somewhere across town, there's a CEO just like you who's sipping champagne, celebrating another premium contract that pays 3 times industry rates. The difference? They discovered what I learned after 4 decades in business, working with everyone from Cartier to corner shops, from global mining companies to boutique consultancies. Your fiercest competition might actually be your fastest route to luxury market positioning. I'm David White, and I've spent the last 40 years helping businesses transform from commodity providers into premium authorities. Today, I'm going to share with you why your competition could be your golden ticket to luxury and why most CEOs get this completely wrong. So there's a paradox. Let me start with a story that perfectly illustrates this. When I worked with Cartier on their search engine strategy, yes, even luxury brands need to be found online, their biggest concern wasn't genuine competitors, it was counterfeit goods and black market sellers. But here's what fascinated me. The existence of these fakes actually enhanced Cartier's premium positioning. Every knockoff reinforced the message that this brand was so desirable, so exclusive, that people would risk legal consequences just to copy it. The luxury market operates on principles that would make any rational economist weep. Scarcity increases desire. Basic economics turned on its head. Higher prices signal higher quality. Cost becomes a feature, not a barrier. Exclusivity drives inclusion anxiety. FOMO as a business model. During my search marketing days running what was London's first search engine marketing company, I noticed something peculiar about luxury goods companies. They didn't want to be easily found online. One French fashion executive told me bluntly, if we're too easy to find, our prices will collapse. Being exclusive, being not found, is our brand's core characteristic and value. And she was absolutely right. Accessibility was the enemy of aspirational value. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Smart CEOs don't just acknowledge their competition, they choreograph it. When I helped launch the Entrepreneur of the Year Awards for Ernst & Young, we weren't just celebrating winners. We were creating a competitive ecosystem where being nominated became almost as valuable as winning. The competition itself became the product. This works across industries. In professional services, when I ran week-long CISSP training courses for cybersecurity professionals, I didn't hide that other providers existed. Instead, I positioned our program as the platinum standard that other courses were measured against. The competition became our quality benchmark. In technology, during my Web Optimizer days, clients didn't just want to rank number one in search. They wanted to be seen as a definitive authority in their field. The crowded marketplace wasn't their problem. It was their proof of market significance. In B2B services for manufacturing clients, we position them not as the cheapest option, but as the choice that serious buyers made when they graduated beyond commodity thinking. Let me give you some real examples of how this plays out. When I worked with Lloyds Bank on their factoring services, where companies sell their invoices and the banks collect the money, we weren't pretending they were the only provider. We positioned them as the choice for directors who'd graduated beyond basic commercial finance. The market crowding proved the concept's validity. For mining companies needing defensive PR through search dominance, they weren't hiding their environmental challenges. They were positioning themselves as the only operators transparent enough to address them publicly. Scarcity of honesty became their competitive advantage. I've seen law firms create referral networks with their rivals, sharing overflow work and creating a chambers effect that elevated everyone's perceived status. Sometimes your best competitors become your most valuable partners. After working with over 60 employees across multiple businesses and advising countless entrepreneurs, I've distilled premium positioning into what I call the luxury trifecta. First, scarcity engineering. Don't just limit supply, create intelligent scarcity. It's not about artificial restrictions, it's about natural selection criteria that elevates your market position. Second, authority amplification. Your competition validates your market's importance. When there are multiple players in a space, it proves the market matters. You're not creating demand. You're serving evolved demand. Third, prestige partnerships. This is where it gets truly counterintuitive. The most successful luxury brands don't eliminate competition, they conduct it. They create a marketplace where their competitors serve as the opening act, warming up the audience for the main event. Here's how to transform your competitive landscape into luxury positioning. Phase 1. Reconnaissance. Map your competitors not as threats, but as market validators. Each rival proves demand exists and helps define quality standards. Phase 2. Differentiation through elevation. Position yourself not as different, but as advanced. You're not competing with others. You're serving clients who've outgrown basic solutions. And then phase 3. Orchestrated scarcity. Create selection criteria that naturally limit your market. High-end restaurants don't serve everyone. They serve people who appreciate excellence. Phase 4, community creation. Build an ecosystem where your clients feel part of an exclusive group. Your competition becomes the general admission that makes your VIP experience more valuable. Now, let's talk about how this plays out across different market segments, because the principles apply whether you're selling software, services, or manufacturing solutions. Ultra high net worth individuals, these clients don't want the cheapest, they want the choice that other successful people make. Your competition becomes social proof. Enterprise clients, Fortune 500 companies, often choose vendors not despite the competition, but because of it. A crowded field signals market maturity and reduces procurement risk. When I position clients as boutique consultancies rather than generalists, their competition becomes evidence of their focused expertise rather than market dilution. Here's the counterintuitive truth that most CEOs miss entirely. In luxury positioning, your competition becomes your quality benchmark, your scarcity creator, and your social proof generator, all rolled into one. This isn't about arrogance, it's about market dynamics. While your competitors are racing to the bottom on price, you could be building a position at the top where margins are healthy and clients are grateful. The companies I've worked with who truly understood this principle, from global technology firms to boutique consultancies, consistently achieved premium pricing while their competitors fought in the commodity trenches. Let me give you some specific examples of how this works across different industries. In professional services, when I work with law firms, accounting practices, or consultancies, we don't hide from the competition. We position them as the high street option while we serve the chambers market. In technology, instead of competing on features, we compete on outcomes. Instead of competing on price, we compete on results. The commodity providers become the stepping stone that clients use before they're ready for premium solutions. In manufacturing, we position clients not as suppliers, but as strategic partners. The competition becomes a transactional option that proves our relationship-based approach is worth the premium. Now, let's talk about the psychology of luxury buyers, because understanding this is crucial to making this strategy work. Luxury buyers aren't actually buying products or services. They're buying identity. They're buying membership. They're buying the story they tell themselves about who they are and who they associate with. When I worked with luxury goods companies, the most successful ones understood that their real competition was not other luxury brands. It was the mindset that said good enough is good enough. Your competition helps create the narrative that separates serious buyers from price shoppers. They provide the contrast that makes your premium positioning meaningful. Let's talk numbers for a moment. In my experience, companies that successfully implement premium positioning typically see 30 to 50% higher margins, 60 to 80% longer client retention, 40 to 60% higher client lifetime value, 79 to 90% more referrals. But here's the key. These aren't just better numbers, they're better businesses. When you're not competing on price, you're competing on value. When you're not chasing every customer, you're serving the right ones. The luxury market isn't just about expensive products. It's about exclusive experiences, superior outcomes, and aspirational associations. Now, let me share some common mistakes I see CEOs make when they try to implement premium positioning. First mistake, trying to be premium without being different. Premium isn't just higher prices, it's higher value. You need to actually deliver something that justifies the premium. Second mistake, hiding from the competition instead of leveraging it. Your competitors aren't your enemy. They're your market validators. Third mistake, trying to serve everyone at premium prices. Luxury is about selectivity. You can't be premium for everyone. You need to be premium for someone specific. Fourth mistake, focusing on features instead of outcomes. Luxury buyers don't care about what you do. They care about what they get. Here's how to implement this strategically in your business. Start with market research, but not the kind you're thinking of. Research your competitors' clients. What are they saying? What are they complaining about? What are they outgrowing? Next, identify the upgrade path. Every market has clients who are ready to graduate from commodity to premium. Your job is to be there when they're ready. Third, create scarcity through selection. Don't just raise prices, raise standards. Make it clear that you're not for everyone, and that's exactly why the right clients want you. Fourth, build community among your premium clients. They should feel like they're part of an exclusive group, not just customers of a premium service. Now, let's talk about the long-term strategy, because premium positioning isn't a quick fix. It's a sustainable competitive advantage. Over time, as you build your premium positioning, your competitors actually become more valuable to you. They handle the price-sensitive clients, they educate the market about basic solutions, and they create the contrast that makes your premium positioning meaningful. This is why some of the most successful luxury brands actually encourage competition at the commodity level. They want a thriving market of basic providers because it validates the category and creates the upgrade path. Let me share a few success stories from my own experience. One consulting firm I worked with was struggling in a crowded market of business advisors. Instead of competing on price, we positioned them as the graduate school option, the choice for business owners who'd outgrown basic consulting. Their competition became their qualification system. Clients would often say, "We tried other consultants, but we're ready for something more sophisticated." A technology company I advised was competing with dozens of similar providers. Instead of trying to be different, we positioned them as the advanced option. Their marketing message became, "When you're ready to graduate from basic solutions," their competitors became their lead generation system. Now, there's another crucial component to this that I learned from my own journey: authority positioning. Throughout my career, from working with Cartier to launching the Entrepreneur of the Year Awards, from building the UK's first search engine marketing company to training CISOs, I've seen that authority isn't about eliminating competition. It's about leading the conversation. When you're positioned as the authority in your field, your competitors become your supporting cast. They validate the importance of your market. They educate potential clients about the category, and they create the contrast that makes your expertise valuable. Here's something fascinating I've observed. In premium markets, your competitors often become your best source of referrals. When I was running my search marketing company, other agencies would refer clients to us when the project was too complex or the client was too demanding. We weren't competitors. We were serving different market segments. The same thing happens in professional services. Law firms refer to other law firms. Consultants refer to other consultants, but they tend to refer up, not down. They refer to the premium option when their client is ready to graduate. This creates a natural ecosystem where competition becomes collaboration. Having worked across the UK, Europe, and the US, I've seen how this principle applies globally. The luxury market is surprisingly consistent across cultures. Whether you're dealing with American entrepreneurs, European executives, or global corporations, the psychology of premium positioning remains the same. People want to be associated with quality, exclusivity, and success. Your competition helps create the global context that makes your premium positioning meaningful. They provide the international benchmark that proves your market's importance. Now, let's talk about how this applies in the digital age, because the principles are the same, even though the tactics have evolved. Online, your competition is even more valuable because they help with search rankings, they create content that educates the market, and they provide the social proof that validates your category. When I was pioneering search engine marketing, we didn't hide from other providers. We positioned ourselves as the advanced option for clients who tried basic SEO and were ready for sophisticated search marketing. The competition became our qualification system. From an investment perspective, this strategy is particularly powerful because it creates defensible market positions. Investors love businesses that aren't competing on price. They love businesses with premium positioning. They love businesses where the competition actually strengthens the market position. When you're positioned as the premium option, your competition becomes your moat. They create the barrier that prevents new entrants from immediately competing at your level. So what are the practical steps you can take starting tomorrow? First, audit your competitive landscape. Instead of seeing threats, look for market validators. Each competitor proves demand exists. Second, identify your upgrade path. What journey do clients take from commodity to premium? Position yourself at the graduation point. Third, create content that positions your competitors as the before in your before and after story, not negatively, respectfully, as a stepping stone. Fourth, build relationships with your competitors. They can become your best source of referrals for clients who are ready to upgrade. The biggest shift you need to make is mental. Stop seeing your market as a zero-sum game where your competitor's success means your failure. Start seeing your market as an ecosystem where your competitors play a valuable role in educating clients, creating demand, and providing the contrast that makes your premium positioning meaningful. This isn't about cooperation for cooperation's sake. It's about strategic thinking. It's about understanding that in the luxury market, scarcity is valuable and your competition helps create that scarcity. So now, how do you measure the success of this strategy? Because the metrics are different from traditional competitive strategies. Instead of market share, focus on market margin. Instead of client acquisition, focus on client lifetime value. Instead of competing on volume, compete on value. The businesses I've worked with that successfully implement this strategy typically see their profit margins increase before their market share does. And that's exactly what you want in premium positioning. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds risky. What if my competitors eat my lunch while I'm positioning myself as premium? Well, here's the thing. If you're competing on price, you're already losing. The race to the bottom is only one winner, and it's not you. Premium positioning isn't riskier than commodity positioning. It's less risky. When you're the premium option, you're not vulnerable to price competition. You're competing on value, not cost. As you scale this strategy, something interesting happens. Your competitors become more valuable to you, not less. They handle the market education. They serve the price-sensitive clients. They create the volume that validates the category. And they provide the upgrade that leads to your premium positioning. I've seen companies that started as premium alternatives become market leaders, not by eliminating competition, but by orchestrating it. When you're ready to expand internationally, this strategy becomes even more powerful. In new markets, your competitors become your market validators. They prove that demand exists. They educate potential clients about the category, and they create the local content that makes your premium positioning meaningful. Having worked across multiple continents, I've seen how this principle applies globally. The luxury market is surprisingly consistent across cultures, and your competition helps create that consistency. Looking ahead, this strategy becomes even more important as markets become more crowded and commoditized. The companies that will thrive are those that understand how to use competition as a strategic asset rather than seeing it as a threat to be eliminated. Your competition isn't going away. The question is whether you'll use it strategically or let it use you. Let me share something personal. Throughout my career, from starting as an apprentice to building multiple successful businesses, I've learned that the most successful entrepreneurs aren't those who eliminate the competition. They're those who orchestrate it. When I launched the UK's first search engine marketing company, I didn't try to prevent other agencies from entering the market. I positioned myself as the pioneer, the standard setter, the graduate school option. The competition that followed validated the market I'd created and provided the contrast that made my premium positioning meaningful. Ultimately, this strategy isn't just about individual companies, it's about transforming entire industries. When enough companies in a category understand this principle, it elevates the entire industry. Instead of a race to a bottom, you get a race to the top. I've seen this happen in search marketing, in professional services, in technology. The industries that thrive are those where the players understand that competition can be collaborative rather than destructive. As I look back on 4 decades in business, the companies that have lasted, the ones that have built real value, are those that understood this principle. They didn't try to eliminate the competition, they used it strategically. They positioned themselves as the premium option and let their competitors handle the commodity market. These are the companies that get acquired. These are the companies that IPO. These are the companies that build lasting value. So here's my challenge to you. Stop seeing your competition as your enemy. Start seeing them as your strategic asset. Your biggest threat could indeed be your greatest asset. Your competition could be your golden ticket to luxury positioning. The question isn't whether you can afford to enter the premium market, it's whether you can afford not to. While your competitors are racing to the bottom on price, you could be building a position at the top where margins are healthy and clients are grateful. If you're intrigued by these concepts and want to explore how they might apply to your specific situation, I invite you to subscribe to my newsletter at The Authority Figure. There I share deeper insights into premium positioning strategies and market transformation techniques. For CEOs ready to discuss their current competitive challenges and explore pathways to premium positioning, I offer a complimentary authority assessment call. We'll examine your market position, identify your luxury opportunities, and map out strategies for transforming competitive threats into premium advantages. You can join the newsletter or book a call at the links associated with this video. Let's discover how your competition could become your golden ticket to luxury market positioning. Remember, in the luxury market, your biggest threat often becomes your greatest asset. The question is whether you'll be the one conducting the orchestra or just another instrument in someone else's symphony. The choice is yours. The opportunity is now, and your competition, they're waiting to help you build your premium positioning. They just don't know it yet.